So far in this current decade, the 2020s, Steph Curry has been playing some of the best basketball of his career. It seems like every year from 2021 to now, he's been in the MVP conversation at some point in the year, and you could make a legitimate argument for each one of those years for him to win that award. But for this year specifically, Curry has been playing amazingly, but it's looking like there's a chance he might not even finish top 3 in MVP voting, and I personally think that's kind of crazy. But before I get into it, if you like videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm making a late push to 1,000 subscribers. A subscription to the channel would be appreciated, and also like the video, it helps it out in the YouTube algorithm. But let's get back into the video. In the 2023-24 season, Steph Curry is averaging 30 points, around 5 rebounds and 4 assists per game, shooting around 51% from the field, a phenomenal 47% from 3, and 92% from the line. And these numbers are bordering his 2016 numbers, and that is regarded as Steph Curry's greatest offensive season of his career and one of the greatest offensive seasons in NBA history. And if we look at the MVP conversation and look at Steph Curry's case for the 2023-24 MVP, it really comes down to his stats and his impact. Curry is putting up MVP level stats right now, and the impact that he's having on his team offensively is greater than a lot of people are giving him credit for. Curry has led his team in scoring for every single game so far this season. Out of the 11 games played so far, he scored 30 in over half of them, and there has been only one game where somebody other than Steph Curry has scored more than 20 points. And I know what you're thinking, is probably Klay Thompson. It wasn't even Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson has started off the season horribly, and the game in question is against Oklahoma City, and that player in question is Dario Saric. So the way that is looking for the Warriors, if Curry is not playing fantastically, the chances of Golden State winning go down exponentially. The only game where Curry didn't put up 30 and the Warriors won convincingly was against Houston, and that was only the 3rd game of the season, and the Rockets came out of the gate struggling. Some of these other games, like Curry's 41-point game against Sacramento, that was a close one down the stretch. Curry put up 42 against New Orleans, won that game convincingly, but that was like the rare game where everybody really showed up for Golden State. They had a rematch with Sacramento, which went down to the wire, and Curry only had 21 in that one. But against teams like Oklahoma City, Cleveland, Denver, Cleveland again, and Minnesota, Curry was not only expected but required to put up a lot of points just to keep the Warriors in the game and give them a chance of winning. And while I do think the Warriors offense is a lot better than it was last year, the offense is still overly reliant on Steph. The Warriors are still a worse offensive team when Steph Curry is off the floor, but the differential is only around 5 points. And the player that makes a difference in that is Chris Paul, because Chris Paul is a creator. He's someone that can get other guys involved, and he fits well with the team with or without Steph on the floor. And like I said, I think the offense is going to improve as the season goes along. I don't expect Klay Thompson to be this bad throughout the entire season. I think Andrew Wiggins will be more of a difference maker later on. Chris Paul will hopefully kick it up a notch, even though he's, up there in age now. CP3 still knows how to impact the game. And looking at the Warriors roster, I don't see them out of the playoffs. I think they're a playoff level team. The worst I could see them going is probably the play-in tournament, in which if the Warriors make it to the play-in tournament, I don't think Steph is going to be in MVP considerations. He'll probably be lower than Jason Tatum at that point. But as far as the MVP award, I think the Warriors are probably going to have to finish top 5 in the West in order for Steph to even, get a chance at winning. And given that the Western Conference is looking crazy right now, finishing top 5 in the West for the Warriors is a very tall task, I'll tell you that. And off the top of my head, Steph Curry is in year 14 or 15 of his NBA career, and I haven't been seeing people using the longevity argument for his case. I remember back in 2020 when LeBron James was, I think, in year 17, he was around 35 years old. He was playing some of the best basketball of his career, or at least some of the best basketball for a player at his age. Curry right now is the same age as LeBron was then, and I haven't been seeing people using that argument for Curry, because realistically speaking, players should not be averaging 30 points per game in year 15 at 35 years old. And also realistically, they shouldn't be asked to pretty much carry an offense, but that's beside the point. I just think a lot of y'all just need to keep the same energy y'all had with LeBron back in 2020 with Curry right now. But as far as if I think Steph Curry will win the MVP or if he has a chance, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think so. And it's not because I don't think Curry is capable or that he can't do it. It's just the fact that Curry has Jokic and Embiid in his way right now, and Embiid and Jokic, both their teams are doing really well right now. Both of their teams are at the top of their conference conferences respectively. Both players are putting up MVP level stats. I would say both players' stats are better than Curry's stats. And then even if you weren't going to give it to Jokic or Embiid, you still got Luka Doncic. And Luka is someone, in my opinion, who would probably be in more MVP conversations if his team was better, especially in 2022. I feel like 2022 was a good year to put him in MVP conversations. But even this year, I mean, the Mavericks, they improved from last year. They improved their roster. They're actually a good team now. Luka finally has the right pieces around him, and they're winning games. And I think the Mavericks and the Warriors are like neck and neck in terms of, you know, which team is better. I currently think that the Mavericks are a better roster right now just because they have more impactful role players. But really, whoever you think is playing better currently between Luka and Curry, you could really just flip a coin and I wouldn't be mad at either answer because they're both playing phenomenal basketball. But as far as the chances of Steph Curry winning his third MVP this year, I just don't see it. I don't see him outdoing Jokic or Embiid, and I really don't see him outdoing Luka Doncic. And I already know there's going to be one person in the comments saying, oh, it's only been 10 or 11 games. And the thing is, yeah, I know that. I know it's early in the season. I know it's a long season. I know things can change. And I know I'm kind of setting myself up to, you know, be wrong now. But you know what? I'm confident in this take because I currently think that Jokic and Embiid aren't going to slow down. If it's one thing about both players will play phenomenal in the regular season, and both of their teams are looking like they're going to be at the top of their conferences. Luka doesn't really tone it down in the regular season. Now, the sustainability of his team is one other question that should be answered. But as far as Luka himself, he's always on timing. But Steph, on the other hand, he's always somebody who starts off very strong and then drops off throughout the season. Last year, it was due to injury. The year before, it was just due to his team being really good. So a mid-season drop-off is something that we might see from Curry. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts on Steph Curry possibly winning his third MVP. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button down below. The channel has been seeing a lot of crazy growth lately, and I appreciate all the support. More videos will be on the way soon. I should be dropping a new episode of the Charlotte Hornets My NBA series on Friday, so be on the lookout for that. And without further ado, that's the end of this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow all my socials down below, and I'm out. Peace.